In today's video, I'm going to be counting down my personal top 10 favorite inversions that I've experienced on a roller coaster. And inversions can be very exciting as well as very vital to a roller coaster experience. And today I'm just going to be listing my 10 favorites. But anyways, let's get started. At the number 10 spot, we have Valraven's ZeroG roll. And the reason I think I prefer this to Cheetah Hunt is simply for one reason. This is definitely the highlight of Valraven, but for Cheetah Hunt, there's also some better elements on that ride, so maybe that has something to do with it, but I don't really know. But nonetheless, this is still a great hang time filled inversion that is definitely, in my opinion, the highlight of Valraven. Coming in at the number 9 spot, we have Tennessee Tornado's vertical loop, and this is a really forceful inversion. This is a coaster I only rode once, so it could go higher or lower, but when I rode it, you got some amazing intensity and forcefulness going in and out, and at the very top, you get some really nice hang time where you start to float out of your seat a little bit. Not as good of hang time as Valraven's inversion, but it definitely provides some nice forces, which is something that I would prefer. Coming in at the number 8 spot, we have MindBlowers barrel roll, and I don't even know if this is the highlight of this ride, but it's definitely one of the best moments on it, because you were just flying, you came straight out of the drop, and then you just start flying through this thing. And this barrel roll is a great inversion. You get some amazing hang time. If you happen to get restraint room, or if you don't get restraint room, you still feel a lot more exposed to the wind and also just to the hang time in general, so you are really just floating out of your seat, which is why it's only coming in at number 8. Now at the number 7 spot, we have Superman Ultimate Flight's Pretzel Loop. And if you've ridden Tatsu or Manta, this is basically a smaller version of that, which I'll get into Manta later. But this is just a great inversion. You get some really nice forces, some really good intensity. This is definitely the highlight of Superman Ultimate Flight, and I don't really have strong feelings about the rest of the ride. But despite being a weaker-ish ride, this is definitely one of the best inversions that I've experienced, and one of the most forceful ones as well. Coming in at the number 6 spot, we have Batman the Ride's vertical loops, more specifically Batman the Ride at Six Flags Great Adventure. Both of these were incredibly forceful and whippy. I've never really gotten whip over a vertical loop before, which is kind of crazy to think about. Your legs go completely numb on these things. You gray out. These are just some of the most crazy, forceful inversions that I have experienced as an enthusiast. And now we've reached the top 5, and coming in at the number 5 spot, we have Raptors ZeroG roll. And this is definitely an inversion that I think is really overlooked. No one really talks about Raptors ZeroG roll, and I think this is definitely the best moment on the ride in my opinion. And it is just one crazy inversion. You get some insane hang time, you get some really nice forcefulness, some good whip, and in my opinion, this is surprisingly just as good, if not better, than Manta's ZeroG roll. And I only rode this thing a few times. I rode it once when it was kind of crawling, but that's not the point. But if you get a good ride on this thing, I seriously think this is one of the best inversions that I've experienced. Anyways, coming in at the number 4 spot, we have Manta's Pretzel Loop, and this is just another one that if you sit in the back row, just say goodbye to just your body. I mean, you just feel like you're going to plummet 6 feet under into the earth. You get some insane forces. You can gray out on this thing. I don't really gray out on this thing a whole lot, but you still just feel so disoriented and just nuts. I mean, you can barely lift your arms on this thing. That's how crazy forceful this thing is. It's a more forceful and insane version of Superman Ultimate Flight's Pretzel Loop. So if you build on a Superman clone, I would say this is honestly just a step up from that. So now we've reached the top 3, and all 3 of these could honestly be interchangeable, but this is what I thought of them. Coming in at the number 3, we have Steel Vengeance's Cutback. That's that second inversion right before the mid-course brake run. And if you ask me, this is one of the better moments on Steel Vengeance. And considering that this coaster has 27 seconds of airtime, that's pretty good, saying that this is one of the better moments on the ride, because this thing just provides some insane hang time. It really throws you around your seat. You get some really nice, just sustained hang time. It's kind of a similar feeling to MindBlowers inversion. However, it's just, I feel like it lasts maybe a little bit longer, and you're just getting thrown around on top of that. And I'd say the hang time's stronger, honestly. But this is definitely one of the most forceful inversions that I've experienced. Therefore, it's coming in at the number 3 spot. And at the number 2 spot, we have Manta's Batwing. And if you sit on the back corners, especially in the back left corner, you are just going to absolutely die on this thing. The whip is just unreal. The way that it freaking manhandles your body is just absolutely crazy. The whip going in and out. Also the sustained positive G's going through, diving through the trench, diving underground a little bit. That is one of the best moments I've experienced on a roller coaster in general. This is definitely one of the most forceful and one of the most grail-inducing moments that I've ever experienced. And personally, I just find this to be one of the most crazy inversions on planet Earth. And finally, coming in at the number 1 spot is Kumba's ZeroG roll. And this thing is just freaking bonkers, bro. Like, I can't even describe how insane this thing feels. It's so forceful, the way that it also just manhandles your body. If you're sitting on the front right or back right side, say goodbye to your arms, because this thing just pulls your arms out from their sockets. It is so freaking nuts. It's just a godly inversion. And it just provides so much whip. Like, the whippiness and the speed that you twist through the thing is absolutely crazy. And also, you get so much hang time on this thing that it literally feels like airtime. Like, if Kumba had a lap bar, this would honestly be one of the best moments on Earth. I seriously think this is one of the best moments on Earth already. Therefore, it is my favorite inversion that I have experienced almost by far. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I'll be sure to bust out some more videos this week. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and as always, I'll see you all later. Peace out.